Hey everybody, how's it going? It's Edwin back again for Strictly Comics, and what do you know? 2 weeks in a row. I told you I was going to put forth more effort and keep trying, but anyways, I have more things to show you guys, and I kind of want to get into it because I think I have quite a bit to show you, and I also want to make this video a little bit shorter than what it was last week because I know last week I think that thing ran like over 30 minutes. So less rambling, more showing. All right, let's get right into this. As you can see, I am showing the newest Overstreet comic book grading guide. Now, this is not the Overstreet price guide. This is the Overstreet grading guide. And if I am not mistaken, they have not put one out since probably '07, '09. I'm not 100% sure, but I have one of their older ones. This came out in 2015. It is pretty large. It's actually the size of your, your average, your modern comic nowadays. So it's pretty large. I'm actually glad to have it. I talk about grading and what my opinion is as far as certain books and what their grades are. And I will say, you guys, I have a lot of confidence in myself when it comes to grading the book, but really only books that are like 9.0 and higher. Anything under, I have a really hard time coming up with a grade confident enough for me to submit or for me to suggest to anybody that may be trying to sell, or that might be trying to buy a book from me. So, but anyways, this is actually a really great resource to have. I recommend anybody that has the opportunity to buy one to get one. One thing I will say is if you have the opportunity to get the older one, get the older ones because it's really not much difference. As a matter of fact, here's the older one right here. And you can see how much smaller it is from the newest one. And this edition right here is a 2006 edition, if I'm not mistaken. I think I showed this on a past video. It's a lot of information, a lot of pictures. Excellent resource to have. I think that my comic book shop had this for like 25 bucks brand new. It is really heavy though. The zinc that they use to make the pages all glossy and shiny puts a lot of weight on the book. So, but definitely get you guys one. Okay, just some pickups that I got from this past Wednesday. Walking Dead 150, the kind of a monumental issue. Great book to have. I'm pretty far behind. I stopped at 127, which was a good stopping point because it's a brand new starting point for the new era of Walking Dead. I think it starts like 2 years later. But I picked this up because I plan on getting caught up with my Walking Dead reading. I want to get caught up. I don't want to be really far behind, but I'm behind on a lot of books right now. But I'm still buying this because I know eventually I'm going to get around to reading it. But that's the regular cover. Next, I picked up the Michonne cover. Next, I picked up the Ryan Otley cover, which is a really nice cover. And my comic book shop had the blank variant, but I didn't get that. I just kind of cheap, I guess. I don't know. They didn't have the black and white variant to the original cover. Excuse me, and they didn't have the other. Was it another Ryan Otley cover, which was a swipe of his issue number one? I can't remember. But anyways, I got those. Glad to have them. Don't need any more unless it's a black and white variant of the original. Next, I want to show you guys some books that I got signed. Some of them are from, actually most of these, if I'm not mistaken, are from the Amazing Houston Comic Con, and then some of them might be from Comic Palooza. I'm not 100% sure, but let me get right into it. The first one is Howard Shaken. I'm probably butchering his name, but the guy that did Satellite Sam. I think he's still doing it. I'm not sure. This is the only issue that I bought. Um, I don't know. The story was okay. The cover is definitely nice. As you can see, his signature was it right here, and then you can match up. You know, if anybody questions whether my signatures are authentic or not, you can just compare that to that, and you should be good. But anyways, I got him to sign this. It was the only book that I got him to sign. I'm not really a big Howard Chaykin fan, although after I got him to sign, I actually found out that he actually drew a lot of the original Star Wars comic books when Marvel first took on that project back in, what was it, like 77 or something like that, if I'm not mistaken. Don't quote me on this, but I'm like 95% sure that he also drew those back in the 70s. So, but I didn't find that out until after I got him to sign this. So, whatever. Next, I picked up. This is actually an eBay purchase. The Woods #1. It was a 3-issue lot. It was 1, 2, and 3. The only reason why I got this is because I saw that they're going to be doing a television series based on the comic book. So I went ahead and grabbed it. Although on eBay you can still get these very, very cheap. This, along with the Satellite Sam, they're all high grade 9.8 condition copies. I wanted to go ahead and just give it a shot just to see it. I read issue 1 and 2, and it was okay. I could see the potential and where it could go, but I'm just not interested in the Woods. Now, I know the Woods is still being printed right now, but it's just not anything that I would want, that I really have any interest in. So this was mostly just a speculation / investment purchase. That was pretty much it. And it didn't really cost me a whole lot for the 3 issues. Next, I picked up, actually, I've had this for a while. I got Spawn issue #6. The only reason why I'm showing you this, guys, is because I got Rob Liefeld to sign the cover. Now, some of you guys might be saying, Edwin, why did you get Rob Liefeld to sign Spawn issue #6? Well, here's why. Because if you open up the cover and you read it, it actually says Rob Liefeld is either creator or co-creator of Overt Kill. Overt Kill is one of my favorite Spawn villains. This was actually the first Spawn issue that I picked up off the shelf. I kind of missed the boat when issue #1 came out, and so this is where I got started. I eventually got issues 1 through 5, but this was my very first Spawn issue that I ever picked up back in the early 90s. And Rob Liefeld, signed at the top. He's actually got a really nice signature when he does the Rob, but then the Liefeld, he kind of sketches it out. But I was really glad to get him to sign this. And then I got him to sign this one as well. Why? Because Overt Kill, there's the story continues with Overt Kill in issue #7, and I wanted to go ahead and get him to sign this one as well. And it's funny because when you look at Overt Kill and his design, it's very similar to like anything X-Force related, Cable, Kane, anything X-Force related. So I don't know why I didn't put that together earlier, but it makes a lot of sense. Next, I picked up New Mutants issue #86. Now, this is the very first cameo appearance of Cable or Strife. I'm not really sure. I don't really get all that. It's been a while since I've read this. I got Bob McLeod to sign it. I also got Louise Simonson to sign it. And do you guys remember my last video? I was telling you that I was bringing so much stuff to Louise Simonson and her husband, Walt Simonson, getting them to sign that I got them to sign so much stuff. I think I gave them like 20 or 30 bucks to go towards their charity. Well, I got her to sign it twice, and I didn't even realize it. That's how many times I took it to her. She signed it in black up here and then in silver right there. And then I got Bob McLeod to sign it as well because Bob McLeod is the creator or co-creator of the New Mutants. And then I got another copy, which I got both of them to sign. These are in pretty high grade. These are in like 9.4, 9.6 condition. I have, I think, 2 more copies that I may sell or trade or give away. I'm not really sure. And actually, speaking of giveaways, guys, I forgot to mention this. I'm thinking about maybe doing giveaways in the future. because I still want to continue with this channel and I do want to have some fun with it. I enjoy doing giveaways and stuff like that. But because I have two of these, I may include this. Let me get this down. In a giveaway. I know that grading is very subjective, but as I mentioned, this is just a really, really good resource to have. I would encourage anybody who wants to at least pre-grade any comic books themselves before they submit them to CGC to definitely look at this. This would just make a good read as far as like when you're in the bathroom or something, or you just got some really downtime, because as you go through the grading, you see it can be pretty redundant. So I would just definitely encourage anybody to get this. But like I said, I might go ahead and just do a giveaway and just have this in my giveaway. It's in really, really good shape. I've only flipped through it a few times, and I can't seem to sell it on eBay, so I'm just going to maybe give it away. All right. And then finally with the Rob Liefeld stuff, I grabbed this. I didn't get him to sign this because I actually purchased this kind of walking out of the convention, and Rob Liefeld had already burnt off. So I went ahead and grabbed this. I think I got this for like either $3 or $7, but this was like a year and a half ago. This was before, because Rob Liefeld kept telling people, like, you want to get X-Force number 2, you want to get X-Force number 2, and people were like, why? He's like, because this is the second appearance of Deadpool. And kind of walking out, I took his advice, and I kind of looked at, like, you know what, Rob Liefeld has kind of an inside scoop that we don't have, because he's tied. They brought him on set to Deadpool, and he talks to everybody, and they've sought him out for counsel and advice on how to go about the movie. And so I know he has some inside information, and I kind of just went and took him at his advice, and I'm glad that I did, because I think, like I said, I got this for like $3, and I think they're going now for like 15 to 20. It's kind of fizzled out a little bit, but this one is in really, really high grade. It's in minimum 9.6. All right. John Romita Jr. was there at the Amazing Houston Comic Con in, I can't remember, August or April or October. I think it was October. And I went and got some books for him to sign. Now, I'm not a big John Romita Jr. fan. I actually like his older stuff than I do his newer stuff. But I got him to go ahead and sign this. This, as you guys are aware of, this is the first appearance of Forge. I actually like Forge. I like him as a character. I don't think he's utilized as much in the Marvel world, but I like him as a character. Next, I got him to sign Uncanny X-Men number 202. Nothing key about this issue. I got this issue because I love the purples. I loved the read. It was a good read. And it's just nice. I think it's a Copper Age book just to have, with your whole X-Men continuation. And if I'm not mistaken, this is after, I think 201 is the first appearance of Baby Cable or Baby Nathan Summers. So this just kind of continued that. And like I said, the cover. All right, next I picked up X Factor issue 19. Now, this I think is the first appearance of the Horsemen, and there's only 3 if I'm not mistaken, or there was 4, and then he had to get Archangel as the 4th. I can't remember. If I'm wrong on this, please let me know, but I'm pretty sure that this is the first appearance of the 4 Horsemen. This one isn't in great shape. It's in probably like a 9.2, but I think I got it out of the dollar bin before they all started going up to ridiculous prices. So I just grabbed it. At the very least, it's a reader copy. Okay. More signings from the Forever Evil back in, I think it's 2013. I got Grodd number 1 or the Flash 23.1. And I got at the bottom here Brian. How do you say his name? Brian Bucceletto. I'm thinking it's Bucceletto. He was at the Amazing Houston Comic Con, and he was doing all his signings for free as well. Really nice guy. Very quiet. I didn't really talk to him a whole lot. To be honest with you, I wasn't really familiar with him at the time when I was getting him to sign this. But I did realize that I had other books at home that I could have had him sign, but I just, I was like, I just waited. I was really there mostly for Mark Bagley and Rob Liefeld, but I got him to sign this, and I must admit that with the signature on the 3D cover, it actually looks really, really cool. So I got that. Next, Harley Quinn number 0. Boom, 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 boom. So I'm like, okay, let me see if I can start a goal here. Let me see if I can get every single one of the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 artists to sign this book. I don't know. I'm like, if I'm going to do that, I might as well get started. And Chad Hardin was there, so I got Chad Hardin to sign it, and we'll see if I can keep this going. So we'll just see how many. I might have it for like 20 years, but we'll just see how many people I can get to actually sign it. I didn't even realize Walt Simonson did some work on this cover. I could have had him sign a while back, but oh well. What are you gonna do? That book is also in pretty high grade. It's about a 9.6. It's got I think it's got a little ding on it, but I'm not sure. It's been a while since I've looked at it. Next, I picked up Harley Quinn, issue number 1. Again, this one is signed by Chad Hardin. Now, Chad Hardin he actually asked me if he could sign it in different colors. I think, red was his primary color on these two books anyways. And whenever an artist asks me that, what are you going to tell them? No. You might make a mistake sometimes. Like I made a mistake one time with Greg Capullo. He took a black cover, solid black cover. I think it was Batman 23, and signed it in dark blue. You could hardly see the signature. But it's Greg Capullo. It's gonna, what are you gonna tell him? He is who he is. And Chad Hardin was there, and he asked, and I'm like, yeah, dude, just sign it whatever color you want. And he signed it in red right there in the star. Nice signature. Not a big Harley Quinn fan, but she's hot right now, so I'm not picking up everything Harley Quinn, but I'm picking up some things Harley Quinn. Next, I picked up Future's End, Harley Quinn, issue number 1. Again, Chad Hardin's signature at the bottom there with the gold signature. Really, really nice cover. Love the purples. Love, actually, good color selection in my opinion with the gold signature to go with the purple. And this is a 9.9, 9.8 minimum. This book is flawless. Nothing wrong with it. Okay, next I grabbed Superman number 32. Now, I think I told you guys in the past that whenever John Romita Jr. jumped onto Superman, I bailed because I'm not a fan of his artwork. I was actually really happy when I think Brett Booth was doing Superman before Romita Jr. jumped on. But Romita Jr. jumped on, and I didn't have any of his books, so I actually had this, and another one was an eBay purchase. And I got him to sign it, as well as Aunt Lucia, who is the Bombshell cover artist for DC Comics. I actually do like his Bombshell covers. Most of them, they're all really, really good. As we have seen on eBay, that a lot of the Bombshell covers kind of sell for a little bit more. Those variants sell a little bit more than the regular ones. And because Aunt Lucia was there, I grabbed this and got him to sign it. Now, I'm not going to show you guys pictures of the artists doing the signings, even though I do have them. If I choose to sell these books, then I have all those pictures watermarked. And if I do choose to sell these books, I will upload the pictures with the books if I do decide to sell them. Next is Harley Quinn. What is this? Number 7. Again, a Bombshell variant. Chad Harden signed in red right up here, and Aunt Lucia. I'm. Hey man, I'm sorry if I'm just destroying your name. I don't know, man. Anyways, I got him to sign this. This is a really, really nice cover. Love this cover. Beautiful cover. A lot of you guys might remember this, but got both of them to sign this one as well. Next, again with the John Romita Jr. I got Amazing 210. First appearance of Madam Web. This book, in my opinion, should be much higher, but I know that female characters do not really soar in value. Very few of them actually gain, top market popularity, but this, in my opinion, is a book to have because I think that Madam Web could literally show up in any Spider-Man movie. Because she's kind of like the mystical goddess. You could kind of look at her like the Raiden of Spider-Man. Maybe. Kind of like the mystical god of knowledge and wisdom to give insight to all Spider-Man characters, from Peter Parker to Miles Morales to Kane to whoever. But I think that this is a book that any Spider-Man collector should get. So I got that. Next, I got Amazing Spider-Man issue 212. First appearance of Hydro Man. This is a high-grade copy. It's about a 9698. Very clean, bright cover. Love this cover. Read it. Fun read. It kind of takes your mind back to the 80s. I think this was done in the 80s. 1980. January of 1980. But anyways, great book. Actually, in my opinion, another book that I think every collector ought to get, because he is another villain that could literally pop up in any Spider-Man movie, maybe even the Sinister Six. I'm going to stop it right there. I'm going to put this up. I'm going to stop it right there because I have a lot more books to show you guys, but I think I will reserve those to the next video. This video is already hitting close to 25 minutes, so I'm going to stop. Make sure you guys like, comment, share, subscribe. I do always appreciate it. I want to hear what you guys have to think about comic book signings. Is it something that you are all about, or do you think that comic books shouldn't be signed at all? I've heard some people say that, yeah, if you get a comic book sign it on that first inner page. So what are your thoughts when it comes to comic book signings? Is it something that you think needs to be done? Tell me. I'm really curious to know. I've heard some things about some people saying that they would never get a comic book signed, especially on the cover, but that's them. Everybody's different. Everybody's not the same. So I'd like to hear what you guys have to say. Again, keep God first in your life. Enjoy your comic books, and God bless you guys. Have a great weekend. Peace out.